We want you to take a bunch of games that haven't even been released yet and review them. Review. With extreme prejudice. Halo Reach is awesome. Probably the best game I've ever played. If you find the verisimilitude of my previous comment to be lacking, then you're to be commended for your empathetic or deductive reasoning. Indeed, those comments are intended to serve as something of a tranquilizing measure for the more ardent and zealous monomaniacs devoted to this series. My more voracious sentiment will be couched in these overly verbose terms in order to throw off these adherents who in the vast preponderance lack the cognitive aptitude to perambulate and masticate flavoured exudate, let alone discern multisyllabic words. So on to the game itself. While this game does afford an iota of felicity, it is more frequently a severe discomfort in the hindquarters, hence the appropriacy of its nomenclature, Halo Reach Around. Those of you proffering hard-earned tender for this electronic amusement and expecting an inceptive experience will indeed feel as though they have been begrudgingly penetrated by Bungie's antediluvian phallus. A mere scintilla has been altered from the previous iterations of the series, which continues to be pitched squarely into the gaping maw of the lowest common denominator. This is run-and-gun gameplay at its most abecedarian. Bungie seems to treat innovation as the Marquis de Sade treated inhibition and morality, as an unwelcome constituent in the creative endeavour. For starters, all notion of narrative has been expunged in order not to perplex their target audience. Instead, all opponents simply materialise in the player's vista with the word enemy issuing from above their crania. And as many Halo zealots are unable to decipher the written word, it is also chromatically ciphered in resolute crimson so as to evade any further misapprehension. One ostensible innovation is the exaggerated melee animations for contiguous martial conflict. I say ostensible as this cannot be considered veritable innovation for anyone who has obliged Gears of War, or nigh on any other third-person shooting game of recent retrospection. The only indubitable innovation is a multiplayer automated derision control. At the push of a button, the player can infer that any subjugated foe voluntarily revels in maternal incestuous relations, or perhaps that they are as yet inexperienced with the game, something that seems to be an unparalleled slander amongst the culture of this game's more stalwart patrons, despite the perspicuous expostulation that this is assuredly the case for everyone at some temporal juncture. In the interests of brevity, let me recapitulate. If you're an adherent of the series, then you will procure this game no matter what my conjecture. On the other hand, if you're able to successfully add two single-digit numbers together and reach a veridical result, or transcribe your name on the ground with a stick, you may wish to prospect further afield for your next exemplar of gaming titillation.